All right.
Cheers.
Well, cheers.
Good to see you.
You made it.
I made it.
I made it.
You made it.
We all made it.
We're here now.
We're here now until we go to war with North Korea, and we're all of this is for nothing. We're all doomed.
What is life? I mean, really. But yeah, man.
You've been busy, man.
Dude, I've been real busy.
You've been like embracing the country.
You know, it's really hard to say no when people say, "Hey, I want to give you money to play drums." So I'm like, "Oh,
yeah,
okay, all right."
You're a sellout, bro. You're
I don't even care. You know what? You know when I stopped caring?
When you got that check, you're like, "Oh, this is good. I like this."
Well, you're younger, playing music and whatever, and obviously, we grew up doing all the same stuff. It's like, I'm never to sell out. Whatever. You know what, man? I'm old enough. I can sell out, and I don't care.
Yeah,
it's totally fine. Plus, I still do the fun stuff on the side.
Well, you get to play. You get to play drums, and it doesn't matter what fucking genre it is, as long as it's a genre that you can groove to and have a good time with. It doesn't fucking matter, and you're getting paid for it. That's the dream.
It really is. Some gigs are. But hey, you know what? I don't even care. Honestly, it's a blast. One of the cool things is like one of the artists that I play for, because there's a handful that I do. I actually landed the gig because I took a random gig on a day's notice for no money. And so it's one of those cool things where it was like, wow, that's talk about prime example of, it doesn't matter if you get paid, because there's always a reason for this networking, and the networking game. Yeah. Which is really
I decided to not do it anymore.
That's fair.
I'm done.
I understand. Trust me.
I'm done trying to network and talk to people and connect with people, and
it's a rat race in itself. It really is. It's crazy.
Me personally, I've had an incident recently with a gentleman we both know, and I'm not going to name him.
Fair enough. Yeah, no, we don't need name names.
But it was just the gig fell through, and I was just like, "Fuck this."
Yeah,
this is. I don't want to do this anymore. I'm gonna do something I want to do.
Yeah,
and something So I started doing like really going inside myself and be like, what do I really want to fucking do? Oh, I want to do drum covers for like video games and anime and cool stuff like that. And so that's what I do. Yeah, I do that now.
That's awesome.
And if someone says, and if gigs come flying my way, thank you, by the way, for sending me gigs every now and then, because I'm still down to do gigs.
Absolutely. I'll do what I can, and then for me too, it's one of the cool things and the interesting things, I guess, on the networking side is, if I'm throwing a gig to somebody, that's my name on it too. Right. And I'm 100% have full faith that, you'd be fine to cover it. You know what I mean? And so
I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Of course.
We got to help each other out, man.
Absolutely.
And same here. If,
totally.
if the opportunity arises, but,
well, I've been trying to get you for a while. We talked about it a handful of times. We still got to do it. Is doing, like a studio cover at my studio of, I don't know, certain theme songs.
Oh, dude, I would absolutely do it.
There's one in particular that I'm like, we talked about it. Do you remember?
Do I remember?
You remember?
Was it Mega Man? No? Street Fighter?
No. What's that suitcase you got over there?
Oh, shit. Oh, yeah, that's right. Oh, yeah, you did tell me. That was a while ago.
I think I was still working with you when we talked about it.
Yeah.
It's funny. I was screwing around with it the one night, and so I playing the other instruments and stuff, because I'm like, well, you obviously have to play the drums on it. Yeah. Like, we have to do that, and maybe we'll make a video out of it, and maybe we'll just get really drunk or something and just make it just the most ridiculous thing ever.
Dude, I'd love to do that. I'm trying to brainstorm as far as like a really cool, good produced one.
Yeah.
Because the ones I've been doing lately are just like fun stuff. Like I did the Castlevania one just because of I got inspired. Great, I got inspired by the Netflix. Did you watch that?
I didn't.
It's really good. Anyway,
I've been really bad about my Netflix series, and everybody gives me crap for it.
Yeah. Do you even have so do you just, besides going out and drumming and stuff, do you also you've become an engineer? You went to school for it and graduated and shit. Right?
Yes.
Graduated?
Yes, I did graduate.
Because it's a school, isn't it?
It is a school. I just, when people say, so you got a degree? And I'm like, I'm making a diploma. But, I still owe them money.
Shut the fuck up. Stop being humble. You have it posted on your wall. And you're like, I'm so fucking...
I have it posted in my wall upstairs, out of the way, where people who come in to work on stuff don't see it. It's awesome.
But yeah, you're an official engineer. So like,
I am actually, and I have experience too doing like live sound and stuff like that. But really, I went into it because I like studio work, and especially nowadays with the digital age and all that kind of stuff. And not to knock on the awesome setup you have here, but for me, like just being a drummer, doing my best to really come up with and actually do the actual sounds.
Yeah,
like hey. I want that snare drum to sound great, so tune it.
Right.
And fucking play it right.
Right.
Like it's just stuff like that where people nowadays, and I see people, musicians, artists, writers, whatever, of course there are plenty of rad tools that can help, but I don't know. Maybe that's the part of me that's still latching onto that. I'm not selling out, kind of
do it for the art of it.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Of course. I was fortunate enough to intern with a producer who became very popular later, and a lot of his like the way he did things kind of really rubbed off. And it was really cool to experience. Like go after the real sounds. Yeah. Oh, hey, John Bonham had this. They only had 4 or 8 channels or whatever. You see nowadays in a studio, you got like 35 mics on a drum kit. Oh my god.
Yeah.
But, they only had so many things to work with. So why don't we approach something like that? Why don't we get a good sound with what we have,
Right. Kind of minimalist.
Kinda, yeah. But I mean, also, do what you can.
Yeah, exactly.
Make what you have work.
Man, that's crazy. So have you like produced any, like, have you done like producing?
Yes. Okay. The only thing that I have done that people you probably have heard of is actually Wyatt came and
oh really?
Yeah.
Oh nice.
Wyatt and Kobe came in. It was awesome. It was great to see them.
I haven't seen them in
this was
so
a while
long
ago now too, because I hadn't seen them in forever now. And as far as I know, Wyatt's been just on the road like crazy, which is awesome.
Great. Is he still doing his own thing?
Yeah. He's
awesome.
been doing singer-songwriter stuff, and his songs just keep getting better and better.
Great.
It's really cool. And Kobe has got a big old family now. Like, I think he's got 2 kids now, and he's been,
good for him.
Every now and then I'll get a text message here and there, but it's always good to hear from them. But anyway, so they came in, and we did 2 songs, just top to bottom, just the 3 of us. We tracked every single instrument all the way, through the vocals and everything. And I don't know if he's done anything with them, but I was proud as shit of it,
Yeah.
So it was really cool, a fun experience. Of course, I played on it and stuff. But yeah, absolutely. As far as stuff that you would know, that's it right there.
Yeah. I mean, so like, yeah, how is being in the like producer role and being being like the puppet master of everything?
It's a different hat to wear.
Play for me, my little toys.
Yeah, it's kind of fun. I got used to playing, I guess, the wearing 2 hats, being producer as well as playing the drums. But I've done a couple of sessions. I've done a couple of metal sessions where I'm literally just the producer. And I'm just like sitting there like, okay, cool, and why don't you try this? Why don't you try this? And doing just like that, fucking puppet master.
Yeah.
And it's awesome. It's very different, but it's a lot of fun, and it sparks different sides of creativity, which is really cool. Yeah. And then actually when I go back to playing, it makes me approach that a little bit differently too. Because I start thinking about like, oh, okay, wait, hold on.
You almost like look outside of your own body.
I try to, of course.
How is this really going to translate?
Exactly. Exactly.
Instead of just like going in there and just rocking the fuck out.
Yeah, we're like, okay, what I would used to do is in this spot, I'd have like this huge fucking fill and just whatever. And then it's like, okay, it's pretty cool, but when I sit back and listen to it, I'm like, that doesn't really fit, or whatever, or hey, you didn't do anything there. Why don't you open up a little bit,
right?
Stuff like that. It's definitely an interesting kind of side to it.
Man, so who are you all playing with? Right? Are you just like doing a whole bunch of gigs and
essentially, yes,
a whole bunch of players, a whole bunch of bands?
Yeah. For example, like this weekend, I'm going to Chicago with an artist named Nick Allagood, and I just met him today.
Oh, right on.
Yeah, like
yeah, you're really networking then. You're
kind of, yeah.
You're just really out there.
It's pretty cool. Well, a lot of it is based on just recommendations. Word of mouth. It's huge. Like I got the gig from a buddy of mine. Oh, completely. Yeah. I've gotten more gigs from word of mouth than literally anything else I've done.
Wow.
And so, for example, just kind of the way it works is, get hit up like, oh, hey, here's the gigs, here's the songs, here's how much it pays, here's the time we're gone, or whatever.
Right.
And when can everybody rehearse? Oh, okay, cool. And you pick a day. So like today we had rehearsal, and 2 of the guys out of the band, out of the 4 of us, I just met today, and we have a gig on Friday. And what day is it? Today's Wednesday. You know what I mean? So it's interesting. So you kind of go through and you just figure out different ways to approach making sure the gig is a show. And
dude, how do you have trouble, man? You obviously because you called me, you're like, hey, I can't do this because it's overlapping with this gig. So do you find yourself like kind of overwhelmed at times?
Yes.
Like, oh shit, I have to learn 10 more songs tomorrow. Oh my God, that's the wrong band.
A little bit. It can be like that. That's why like my calendar, my phone is like my best friend.
Oh yeah.
But the thing that gets a little frustrating sometimes is you get booked on one thing and then something else happens. You're like, oh, I really wish I could. And of course I don't want to like have somebody else go take the gig because I, keep the relationships open, stuff like that. Yeah. Everybody gets the game though, which is cool. But yeah, like next weekend, funny enough, I'm actually in Chicago again with another artist, but there's, I think 6 gigs I turned down next weekend because I was already booked. I'm just like, why is everybody booking on the same weekend? I want to do all of them. All of them. It's like, I can't.
Well, dude, that's so good. That's so cool, man.
Right?
And man, it's just crazy. Like, just like when you get older and you're like, man, I don't, it's like, I still love playing music.
Oh, dude, I love it.
You think by now, I mean, like after so many, like after like failures or like successes and then failures, and you're going back and forth and back and forth, and then the struggle and but I still love it.
I do too.
It's
funny. Like you start sitting back, and obviously we're getting older and whatever, and start thinking about real stuff, paying for bills, trying to buy a house, trying to, like just, being a human.
Yeah. And
it's like, man, maybe if there is some sort of backup plan or whatever, I sit back and think, like, what the hell would I do? Like, no, and literally nothing else gives me the joy of working the way that playing drums does, you know, and which is awesome. It's amazing to me that it is such a strong passion, which is cool, and it pushes me to continue. I mean, country was never a genre that I thought I'd ever be playing in, but I mean, I'm having a great time doing it.
Yeah.
And then once again, I still have my other projects on the side too. I have a rock band that I play for and stuff. And we do like some tribute shows every now and then. Like I played a pop punk show a couple of weeks ago, and we did a whole Green Day set. Oh, dude, it was a blast.
That's so much fun.
I got hammered and played some Green Day. It was awesome.
Dude, fucking Green Day.
Oh, it was awesome. Yeah. We had a blast. We did that. We did we had a Dave Grohl tribute night that I played like 5 or 6 songs on, and whatever, just in the crowd. There was a huge crowd. It was awesome. It was at the Basement East. It was a blast. Just stuff like that. And so
I like the Basement East, man.
I do too.
It's a good room.
Great venue.
Yeah.
Great venue. But yeah, it's stuff like that kind of still keeps the certain side of it, because a part of it does turn into work when it comes to doing all these other gigs and stuff. Because to be honest, I figured out a way to do charts, kind of learned how to do charts for myself. Because, learning 30 songs in a week is really hard.
It is very important to I don't know exactly, I'm not a big advocate of, hang on. Let me try to word this. I'm not really good on theory. Let's just say I'm not really good on theory, but I know a little bit of, kind of just charting and a little bit of.
Do you know basic rhythm theory?
Basic rhythm theory, yeah.
That's really where I'm at.
Yeah.
I kind of created my own system for it.
And I did too. And so it's so important to be able to read as you're listening.
Oh, yeah. Reading's hard.
It's like it's activating 2 parts of your brain
Completely.
as opposed to just listening to it and then playing on top of it, which is, you can, if you can do that, that's great. But if you can read it and listen to it at the same time, it's like you learn like twice as fast.
Oh, yes. Very true. Very true.
So to all those drummers out there, chart honestly, your shit.
Oh yeah, completely. Like all musicians, like it's a whole other avenue of it. It's kind of crazy. Like I totally understand the jaded side because I went through a very large jaded phase, and then I kind of reapproached. Changed my approach, I should say. And when I started looking at it in a way of I'm like, okay, I'm at this point running my own business, and I'm freelancing, if you call it contract work, whatever you want to call it. And so the upside is, I got all the freedom in the world. I can take this gig, I could take that gig, I could do whatever, but I have to go get those gigs sometimes too. It's give and take kind of thing. But once I started approaching it that way, it definitely helped because I've been through my share of, I'm in a band and, we're getting popular and, things are starting to roll and we're starting to get attention. And, person XYZ over here wants to sign us. He wants to give us a deal. Like, oh, okay, cool. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah. Okay, the band's getting signed. And, well, actually, we're going to sign this guy and everybody else is fired. It's like, oh. Well, that's, and if you're committed and in a band and stuff like we all were.
That hurts.
Oh, it's hard. It's really hard. And that creates a lot of the jaded side of it. That's a big part of the cutthroat side, But like I said, for me now, if one of my artists gets a deal or something and then, management comes in and is like, oh, well, we're going to audition players. Like these guys aren't going to make it. I'm like, okay, cool. Like, no hard feelings. I get it. It's fine. I got my other gigs that I'm still, I don't ever put all my eggs in one basket anymore. I just can't.
Yeah, I think that's a smart way to do it. I mean, that's essentially the same thing I did.
Right.
You got
it.